how do you tell the difference between still perfecting your craft and just being garbage, right? Now,
welcome to another episode of UnQuantized Podcasts. They didn't want us to be here this week, but we are here.
Thanks.
Episode 49.
It's lit.
It's lit. We made it. Yeah. The first topic, you saw the Jimmy Iovine video that I posted. Shout out to EA Ski. I reposted it from him. And Jimmy was like, artists, he mentioned Stevie Wonder in particular.
Right.
Wasn't on the road. I think I posted another video from him before saying that. But artists, when it's time to make an album, they weren't on the road. They were just in the studio focusing on making that one album. And that's why albums are classics now. And people now don't take that time.
Right.
And that's why you just have a whole bunch of regular sounding songs instead of good classic albums.
I can see that.
I can see that too. And I kind of agree with that. A lot can be said about the technology of the time, and now you can kind of make an album and be on the road at the same time. But the spin on that I took from it was, is it worth it now to make a classic album? Even classic albums now have such a short shelf life. Is it worth spending a year to work on an album? Facts. And it's only going to be popping for a year?
Facts.
Because I agree with everything he was saying, but then I thought about it. I'm like, damn.
It goes so quick.
Yeah. Is it worth it to do that, or is it almost better off, like you were saying before we even started talking about, to make single.
That's what I think. Just because everybody, even if you notice how long songs are now, bro. Songs went from being like, we from the DMV, so a go-go song is a hot 7 to 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
14 on a good song. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And that's a regular go-go song, right? You know what I mean? And then, the average song, 4 minutes, 3:30?
Yeah. Now
you start looking, it's about 2 minutes, 150, 220.
Hook. It's just a hook.
Yeah. Like that Yes Indeed, the Drake and Lil Baby. Dog, it's like a verse, hook, we gone. You know what I'm saying? And so now I think it's just a whole album, like even with the M joint, like any of these albums, bro, I have to like make time to sit down and listen to these albums. It's not like back in the day where I would go buy it and I'm like, ooh, and I'm so excited. It's just like, it's here, so whenever I get to it, I get to it.
I mean, that definitely makes sense. And by the way, tell us what y'all think about that too.
Right.
How often do you listen to albums again?
But see, those are the only albums that, like, the ones that I feel like took longer than a year, or the only ones that I really bumped for a long time.
They got the replay value.
Like that, I still listen to Because of the Internet by Childish Gambino. That's like still in my like playlist of like albums I just rock with. K-Tronada 99%. But you could tell, it sounds like these albums took a long time.
Do you think those albums sell more? The ones that people spend more time on?
No, not necessarily.
Damn. So it seems to be worth it for the fans that really want to replay, but not so much for the artists taking that time out. Because
I don't think K-Tronada had an incredible album, but I don't think he's out here selling a crazy amount of numbers. But I think for what he does, it's good. It's great. It's a great look, you know what I mean? And like he's building his fan base, but he ain't doing crazy numbers. And then you could do like an album like Nicki's album, it's like very controversial if it's good or bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, it still does a decent amount of numbers.
That's true.
It's definitely crazy. As I get with more songwriters, I feel like I need to make more current music as opposed to sort of just zoning out and doing my own thing.
No.
Yeah.
Always do your own thing. If you look at my, it's not my last post now, but the one where I made the beat, it was a Throwback Thursday beat, but the caption is, never feel like you have to do what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. Just find your own voice and honestly just think about it like this. Why aren't you doing what you really want to do? The answer is you probably have a fear there of people won't accept it. I might not get a deal.
Right.
I might not get on. Those are foolish things to think because all the people that got on and all the people that with longevity did their own thing. Mm-hmm. You can't be afraid. You can't. All producers want to think that they're mavericks and they're cutting edge and they're doing their own thing. But a lot of us are scared to do our own thing for the fear that we won't be accepted.
Right.
That totally goes against the idea of being a trendsetter, of being the guy who I want to be known as the dopest, I want to be known as this. Well, you usually have to do something that nobody has done before.
Right.
So the first thing you got to get rid of is that fear that you won't fit in.
Mm-hmm. No, that's real shit. And I feel like that's part of like I don't know, man. I just feel like if people thought about production and you replaced it, I'm a producer with any other business, right? And then said the stuff that you do out loud, you would think this shit is crazy, right? You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And it's just like, I feel like if people thought about production like they thought about business or they thought about anything else, but for some reason we treat music very different. And it's so special and it's so, I mean, it is special. It's the only thing that it penetrates the brain like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't filter out music. You know what I'm saying? If we hear music, it goes in. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But we treat it like it's not a business. We treat it like it's not an asset. We treat, you know what I mean? These people treat it very, like, weird.
That is true. And even though it's an art, we almost treat it like it's not art. If you think about artists paint what they feel. Mm-hmm. Artists aren't like, what are other guys painting? I should paint what other guys paint so I can sell more in certain gaps.
Let me make a Basquiat today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. It's the only thing. Right. Music in general is the only thing where people think like that, where you like, I have to copy just to make something great. It's the opposite. Right. It's the exact opposite, bro.
How do you tell the difference between still perfecting your craft and just being garbage, right? Now, I don't know if it's just me. And sometimes I be thinking it's just me or like the people I hang around with. But when I do something bad, I know it's bad immediately, bro. For the most part. Every once in a while I'll make a beat and I'll be like, I think it's good, and then nobody likes it. But that's like a rare, like, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times it's the context. You know what I'm saying? When you hear a writer on it, it works. But for the most part, when you do something wrong, you know that you're doing something wrong.
It's called having, some people have self-awareness and some people don't. And then some people I think are just fucking crazy.
Okay, it's Toge. Okay, Toge Chief. My bad. So many names I be forgetting. Yeah. But Toge Chief. So, bruh, don't try to tax me. When we say add value to something that you know how to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't add value to something that you have no clue and you're like the first day on the job. Because then you're really just not. You're adding debt.
Right. Let's give the people some handy tips to figure out, in case you don't have good self-awareness, to figure out how to know if you're good at something or not. Number one, think about what you think your skill level is and throw that shit out the window. It doesn't matter what you think it is. Do people repeatedly tell you, wow, you're really good at this? And I don't mean your mother or your girl or your boyfriend. People that don't know you, that are just meeting you and hearing or seeing what you do for the first time. If at least 10 people have been like, wow, you are really good at this. That's how you know, wow, you are really good at this. Right. Now, if you look in the mirror and say, wow, you're really good at this, punch your mirror in the face. Doesn't matter what you think.
Don't listen to you.
Yeah, don't listen to you at all. That's the thing. When people will tell you, but you know what the problem is too? People don't put themselves out there.
That's facts.
They don't let people hear or see what they're doing. That's another clue. Why don't you? Because you know you're not good at it. Or you're scared. But chances are you're scared because you think that you're not good at it.
I feel like, I will say, the music industry I blame for a lot of like, even like, not even, I don't want to say like mentally like I'm like crazy because of the music industry, but it's certain stuff you have to deal with essentially being in the music industry, right? And it's like, it stresses to being in the music industry. What we do is like dealing with all these personalities. But one thing I learned that this shit toughens you up, right?
Facts.
People tell me now, I'm like, all right, cool, I get better. That's my philosophy, right?